Tonight, we invite you to dream big with us for the future. And we recorded your dreams as you came in. And guess what? Starting tomorrow, with your partnership, we will begin to make those dreams a reality. And now I've asked Betsy Beckman, who has accompanied us since the very beginning of IPJC, always transforming our prayers and our projects and our dreams into story and dance, to weave our big dream together in a creative movement.
"25 years. 25 years since a seed came from the stars, wafted on the winds of the Spirit, and landed in the heart of some of the people in this room. The seed that began to put roots down and sprout up, the seed of a vision peace, a vision of justice, of a world of justice creating peace, a vision that needed community, that needed religious women from many different communities to come together, and a few men as well. And with them together, beginning to create circles of spirituality, of wisdom, of naming God in new ways, naming new possibilities of empowerment. And some of the sponsoring communities of IPJC are present in this room today. And so I would ask you, if you're a member of one of those religious communities, would you please stand up so that we can remember you and all the gifts of your life, women and men, of the sponsoring communities. Let's stay standing. We're going to honor you by singing We Remember. We remember, we remember, we remember. We remember you and we give you thanks. Amen. With the support of these communities, the dreams started to take shape, not only in the church, but in the streets, at the margins of society, for women who are immigrants, for victims and survivors of violence, for people on the edges, here in Seattle, in the surrounding regions, to Central America, to South America, justice circles, women and men finding one another. Unless we think that all of the work done here is done by gray-haired men and women, we remember also, we celebrate the beautiful outreach to young adults and the justice cafes. These cafes meet in circles, in campuses, in communities, and share the way young people share. With a little flair, shall we say? A justice with flair. Not only that, but we see the influence of these seeds that travel through the air. We see the influence in the halls of government, locally, statewide, federally. Here, the voices that have no voice are heard, with trafficking and vigils and presence bringing what is in the shadows into the light. We celebrate We celebrate not only IPJC's infiltration into government, but even into the corporate boardroom. And so it was that about a decade ago, perhaps you've heard the story, the CEO of Procter & Gamble from my hometown, Cincinnati, got wind of this obscure group of women religious who were knocking at his door, and he was so curious that he took his corporate jet and flew it across the country to Spokane to meet with members of the Northwest Coalition for Responsible Investing, sponsored by IPJC and our affiliates. And there, his eyes were open. His ears were open. His heart was open. And he began to understand that the chlorine bleach that you put into your paper at Procter & Gamble flows into the waters and ends up even in the breast milk of the nursing mother. And so the seeds sprout in lives. Not only that, perhaps you've heard, Hershey's Corporation, once sourcing their cocoa through child labor, now with our sneaky ways, has committed to sourcing in sustainable and justice ways all of their chocolate products. So now we can have justice and enjoy our chocolate. So all of these incredible manifestations of spirit, we celebrate. So now we sing the phrase, we celebrate. We celebrate, we celebrate, we celebrate. And where does this lead us next? What do we believe? What is pounding inside of our hearts to come forward, to come to birth? You can see many of the images on this panel, so beautifully crafted in blue and orange and yellow, coming off the page with beauty, because justice is not just hard work. It's beautiful. It creates beauty. It creates joy. It creates peace. And so you'll see the images of what's possible. Did I hear Sister Linda say we might have another convocation? The Francis Dialogues. We have a Pope who is speaking what we have longed to hear, that the earth is sacred. Our earth is a place to be tended, to be loved, to be cared for. This earth that brings forth beauty. Perhaps the IPJC is part of the recreation of caring for our earth in this time of great trauma. We do believe that we can make a difference. We believe that every action that we take creates ripples and plants seeds that go forth much further than we even know. And we understand that the mystery of peace and justice compels us, propels us forward in ways so that we can do what we never thought was possible. And it becomes. And we believe. We believe. We believe. We believe. We believe. I come to you as an artist, as a woman of faith, who has been inspired by IPJC, who over the years has been hired by IPJC. And tonight I come to you as a sister and believer in the dream. I offer my gifts to you in service of this vision. I offer my donation in service of this vision. And I invite you to come along with me, because we're going to have an amazing time. I can just feel it. I can feel the next blossoms arising. And we're hoping that perhaps tonight the dream of what's possible has expanded a bit in your hearts. And perhaps the dream, the seed of what's possible has dropped into your pocketbook. And has expanded what's possible. Because you know everything is possible with God. So I ask you, my friends, to be generous this evening, according to your means, to dream bigger than we thought was possible, that our world can be new. Because we know that our teacher, the one who holds sway in all of our hearts, taught us in the Gospel of Luke, give, it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and poured out in full measure, in abundance. Can you help the dream to happen? Let us sing.